Good morning, colleagues. Sorry for the delay. Our first presenter, Sarita Edwards. You can go.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Faik. Thank you, Samwibe. Welcome, everybody. I'm Sarita Edwards from the Real Estate Department. You heard earlier this morning, we've got a fully online course. And I've been asked to specifically concentrate this morning on the online exams, a Respondus lockdown browser and monitor that we use for our online exams. Right, so as I said, we the first, as I said earlier today, we are the first fully distance education offering at CPUT. Our existing program has been offered at CPUT since 2006. Previously, it was offered by the Technicon and then UNISA, and then CPUT took it over. It is offered on a full-time, part-time, and it was offered on a block release basis as well. Since 2017, the block release was replaced by a fully distance learning offering, and as all of you know, we use the Blackboard learner management system. I like this this little drawing when I attended the Aiden conference at Stellenbosch recently. There was an artist that captured all the sessions, and this was one of the start-off sessions, because at Stellenbosch, like at all the other universities, they're trying to incorporate blended learning, and this is a nice a picture showing that moving from face-to-face, multimodal, integrating technology, and then cross-platform, then blended learning, and then what we've got with distance learning, real estate, where we are fully online. My course, my specific subjects that I offer, I do my full-time and part-time. I also do very much blended. But the fully online, we still have voluntary block contact sessions, but the students, it is voluntary. They don't have to come. And in fact, yesterday I was supposed to have a contact session, and I told my students beforehand that they don't have to attend, because I record all my full-time and part-time sessions, and I do additional recordings. They don't have to attend my block sessions, and in fact yesterday not a single one even attended the block session. So I don't know whether it's good or bad, but hopefully I've been guiding them well enough online that they don't actually have to attend any contact sessions. Right, I'm moving on to the test and exam shortly, but we use various tools and technologies in our course, and we try and set out all the different subjects in a similar format, so that when students log into their different subjects, I've got 13 different subjects, that they, well, there are 13 different subjects, like the first year, second year, and third year. So in their first year, they take about 5 subjects, in the second year about 4, and then another. It depends. They can also spread it out, taking only 2 subjects a year, or they can take as many as they want to. They are distance learners. It's a 3-year full-time and part-time qualification, but our distance learners seldomly only take 3 years, more like 4 or 5 years, so they can spread it out. Anyway, be that as it may, we try and set out the different subjects. When they log into Blackboard, it looks more or less the same. So you have a general section, a general a folder where they find all their general things. Then tests and exams, Blackboard Collaborate webinar. We heard this morning how successful the webinars are. We also find the webinars becoming more and more popular. Last year it wasn't very popular. Now when we have a webinar, we find that more students attend, and we record the session. And even if they don't attend it at that time, we see afterwards that asynchronously they go and look at what we did on the webinar. Then the assignments, there's a specific file for that. I do everything fully online. They are not supposed to email me any assignments. I tell them in the beginning of the year in the instructions, only online submissions will be marked. And if they email it to me, I just answer back and I say, please refer to your subject guide. Submit on Blackboard, only online will be marked. Otherwise, it becomes very confusing. We've got 300 distance learners, and I simply don't have the brain power to keep up with what is where and whatever, so everything has to be on Blackboard. I'm very strict with that. And then any interesting links to websites I upload for them. YouTubes, if I find any specific YouTubes, general YouTubes, I upload it for them. And then we also video record the Cape Town contact sessions, and they can watch that afterwards, especially for the more quantitative subjects like the economics and finance and valuation. They can go and look at the explanation of the calculations, and they find that very helpful. And then after that, we set it out the different units depending on the lecturer. So I didn't continue. This is just the general information. Okay, so I've been asked to concentrate on tests and exams and using Respondus Lockdown Browser and Monitor. So under tests and exams, for every subject, I've uploaded a file, Respondus Lockdown Browser and Monitor, in which I'll show you now we explain the whole process to the students. I also have uploaded a trial test under every subject so that they can, and we'll go through that now, and a plagiarism declaration. And then we all upload our tests as we go along. And sometimes we ask them to use Lockdown Browser and Monitor, sometimes only Lockdown Browser, sometimes nothing if it's just a revision test, but we practice with them all year long. Okay, so there is the link. If they press on that link, they download a Respondus Lockdown Browser. Lockdown Browser is a specific browser, and I always have to read exactly to explain nicely what it is. It's a custom browser that locks down the testing environment in online courses. And in proctored settings, that prevents cheating. And then Respondus monitors the next step. That builds on Lockdown Browser to deter cheating, and it uses a student's webcam to record the assessment sessions. So the Respondus Monitor is then used in non-proctored settings. So if a student's taking an exam from home, then the monitor is used so that we can make sure that that is the student taking the test, as well as to prevent cheating. I make all my exams open book, and I make it very tight time-wise, open book. They can have anything around them, but they always say to me, why do you make it open book? Because there's no time to look in the book. I say, exactly. So it's quick. So I just want to play this. Instead of explaining how it works, this YouTube explains exactly how it works. Now I hope this works. Otherwise I have to explain how it works, which is much more cumbersome and a bit boring. I have clicked yet. Now it's doing the Apple, that special little colourful circle.
They're still saying that.
Oh dear.
It's fine, still recording.
Okay. Have you stopped my minutes?
Ignore the minutes. Ignore the minutes.
Okay, I'll ignore the minutes, he says.
Ignore the minutes. We're not worried about minutes. This one.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, you're probably required to use Respondus Lockdown Browser for an online exam. Lockdown Browser is a different kind of browser. While taking an exam, you can't print, use other applications, visit other websites, you can't even search the internet for answers. I know, it takes all the fun out of online tests. But here's the good thing. Your classmates can't do those things either, so it's just your brain against their brain. A level playing field. Your instructor will provide a link for downloading and installing Lockdown Browser. When you start it, Lockdown Browser might warn you that certain applications have to be shut down before you continue, like screen capture programs, instant messaging, Skype, pretty much anything that lets you communicate with the outside world. You can close those applications yourself or let Lockdown Browser do it for you. The browser will then go to the login page for your online course. Log in like you normally do and locate the exam that requires Lockdown Browser. Remember, after the exam starts, you won't be able to do other things on your computer until you finish the exam. When you're done, just exit Lockdown Browser and you'll be all set. Your instructor might also require you to use a webcam with Lockdown Browser. This part is sometimes called Respondus Monitor, but just think of it as a webcam for Lockdown Browser. The nice thing about the webcam feature is that it lets you take exams from the comfort of your own home, or from the other side of the world. Plus, you can take exams at any time of the day or night. The webcam will record what happens during the exam, and the instructor can review it afterward. So, if an exam requires you to use Lockdown Browser and a webcam, just start Lockdown Browser and locate the exam. Before the exam starts, you'll be guided through a check to make sure your webcam is running properly. Additional steps might also be required by your instructor, such as showing your ID or taking a video of your surrounding area. Once the exam starts, don't give the webcam another thought. Just focus on that test you stayed up all night studying for. When the exam is finished and you submit it for grading, the webcam will shut off automatically. That's pretty much it. Now, take a deep breath and good luck.
Okay, right. So that explains it all. There we are. Okay, you'll find nice explanations of exactly how it works.
Hi, my name is Jenny Navarez, and I'm one of the instructional designers with the Learning Technology and
Try to keep quiet.
Thank you. Okay, right. So the link that you saw previously, that if the student presses on that, it guides them through installing Lockdown Browser on their computer. And we always tell them that before every test, they must just make sure that it is still the latest link. Because usually, and we ask them to do a trial test the day before a test, and to prevent that last minute panic calls that you get. I always set my revision test for 24 hours, and then 10 o'clock at night I get an email, ma'am, I can't, my Respondus is not working. So I always tell them, please, test the day before. Okay, so this is how you set up your test as a lecturer. You set it up via Respondus, and then you've got your list of tests, and then you can tick Lockdown Browser or Lockdown Browser and Monitor. So you can tick and untick, and I always tell the lecturers, please check that a day before as well, because sometimes it just kicks out and then it says, fix me, then you get 30 hysterical phone calls at the office. They can't access their test, and then it's on your side where something kicked out. So on your side, you also have to check the day before. Trial test. The trial test is always there, that they can just test their equipment and their camera. The revision tests we do throughout the year, so that they can stay in practice. And then whilst they're busy, I quite often go and check. You can see on the grade center those little blue, I call them little blue clocks. You can see those are the students who are busy writing the test or assessment, or sometimes they can't submit, and then it also just hangs there as a little blue clock, and then you can submit on their behalf. Right, then they submit, and then you can go and check afterwards to see whether there are maybe flags, to see whether, because you can go and look at the videos, but we don't have time to go and look at all the videos, so you go and look at review and you say, right, which are high priority, maybe there's some cheating, and then you go into those and you go and look at those videos, and sometimes it's not really cheating, sometimes it's just maybe the light was bad or whatever. And here, if you then want to go and look at a specific video, you can go in and you can go and look at where it has been flagged, and then you can decide for yourself whether it is worth taking further steps. And then, yes, responders, you've got, you can never quite prevent cheating, but at least you know that it is the right person taking the test, and you've got a bit of control. Still, there are problems, and we are developing it. I find it an excellent tool, but we are still, it's something that is developing and that we are still working on. Thank you very much.
On the dot.